Hey, eighth grade. Welcome to the pod. I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, I know. Okay, and there I am. I'm going to give you a warning. I already taped this whole thing, and then I had some technical difficulties, and it did not save because I don't understand technology apparently. So I'm warning you about that because I'm going to probably be talking really fast because I want to get home and see my kids. So let's talk about some reminders. First off, has hashtag future ready beavers. Remember, this acronym is supposed to represent our student profile, what we want you to be now and in the future to prepare for a better world. All right. The second E in the Beaver acronym to help you remember this is about being empathetic and kind. Empathy is sort of the basis of being kind. If you can put yourself in somebody else's shoes, take their perspective, say, yeah, what would I feel if people said that about me or did that to me? That's the really helps you change your behavior and say, I'm not doing that, whether other people are doing it or not. And also remembering that everybody, kids, adults, people you like, people you don't like, it doesn't matter, folks that are different from you in some way, everyone in the world on the planet is deserving of kindness. All right. It's just the basic decency that you should have towards people. And you may be thinking, oh, Schaefer says to be successful in the future we have to do this, but I know people who are mean that have done this or that. Okay, but it generally catches up with them at some point. And even if they have financial success, maybe their personal life's in ruins. All right. So empathy and kindness is really what we're trying to build in the school and making it spread. All right. Speaking of that, I don't know exactly how all this started because I don't get the internet, but a meme or a video of some kind started this sort of "I like you cut" G thing, talking about like a haircut, and sometimes that's followed with a slap upside the head. Maybe not super violent, who knows? I think this was relatively small thing, maybe in seventh grade. But if you've heard of it, if you're doing it at school, does not vibe with what we're doing here. The kindness goals we just talked about, because any unwanted touching, whether I meant it as a joke, I didn't hit him that hard. You come to me and someone said this person hit me in the back of the head, I'm going to come talk to you. So if you've been doing this, stop, so you don't have to see me not happy. All right. I wanted to talk to you guys briefly about election season. So in 12 days or so, America will elect some new officials, including a new president, senators, other choices on the Idaho ballot. I just want you to know, even though you're not of voting age yet, as 13, 14-year-olds, honestly, I heard a podcast where people were trying to move the voting age down to 16. So you never know. But it's never too early to start preparing. How can you do that? Learn how to stay informed with actual facts and knowing that Facebook said it's not legitimate. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. You need to know where to go, how to double check and fact check the information you see. So when you go to vote, which is one of the most important sacred duties of your life as an American citizen, you'll be an informed voter, but not a misinformed voter. All right. So start informing yourself. And your parents may, of course, give you some of that information, but eventually you have to come up with your own ideas about the issues. Speaking of the issues, this is going to be rough in these few weeks close up to the election, because we have, as adults, have kind of wrecked the whole environment. Honestly, people are arguing with each other, name calling. So just remember that if you feel this way about whatever, okay, raising taxes on the rich, whatever it may be. And I really like the lesson you've been doing in social studies about finding out your voter profile and the issues you care about. But if people disagree with you, that doesn't make them whatever you see on social media, unintelligent or a bad person. So we hope you, as the next generation, can return some kindness and civility to our national discourse, okay, the way we talk about issues and politics, because we're certainly not doing great right now as adults. Finally, speaking of adults, another thing that's more sixth and seventh grade, especially sixth, they've had some problems with, making bathrooms dirty on purpose, things like that. And it's just a general reminder as young people, if you can be trusted with 5 minutes of freedom, the adults in your life, teachers, principals, parents, tend to give you more trust. And we have sixth graders that can't even be trusted to go to the bathroom on their own. Your grade of 13 and 14-year-olds, honestly, is doing pretty darn good, which I would expect from you, that you should be able to go do your business, as they say, get out of there. So I'm glad I'm not dealing with that with you guys, because you guys are doing great. Okay. Another thing coming up next week, Red Ribbon Week. And I want you to know, we know that 2020 is a challenge as a school year. I'm glad that we're here on campus for sure. Okay. And I hope that we can keep that going for the whole year, but we can't always do field trips and assemblies and things that we find fun. So Red Ribbon Week is something that we can have fun with. And it's called Find Your Natural High this year. Finding things that bring you happiness and energy that don't need to be a harmful substance. And honestly, Mrs. Bollinger is a perfect person to lead this Red Ribbon Week effort because she's a little bit more experienced than me, okay, smarter than me, certainly, a few years older. But I bring that up because she is somebody who exemplifies the idea of a natural high because she is very healthy and happy most of the time because of her personal lifestyle. She's found things that bring her joy and energy outside of substances. All right. So that's what we're celebrating next week. Yes, I do want you to dress up, but we're going to watch some videos during homeroom next week that will remind you why are you doing Red Ribbon Week. But let's get to the dress up days, shall we? I don't know the exact prize. I'm going to talk to team leaders about what we should offer, but there will be a grade level prize for the best dress up, not the best, but the most participation. All right. And we know that you guys are kind of undefeated when it comes to stuff like this. So I'd hate to have you break that streak. So this coming Monday, to show that you are dreaming of a drug-free life, wear your PJs or your sweats and be comfy, okay? Tuesday, show us that you are too bright, too smart for drug use by wearing neon, bright colors of some kind or some sunglasses. That should be fun, seeing all your neon. Wednesday, we're going to show that the best version of me is drug-free to wear. If you were going to go to a wedding or some fancy occasion, wear your best suit, tie, dress, whatever it would be. Let's look fancy as heck, shall we, on Wednesday. Thursday, saying no to drugs is always easier with some positive, good peer pressure. So show that you know how to team up against drugs by wearing a team jersey or sweater, hoodie, shirt, whatever. Maybe it's a AF shirt or just your favorite sports team of any kind. Friday, Halloween. Hey, let's scare away drugs by wearing your Halloween costume. And I'll probably announce on Friday our guidelines for Halloween costumes again. But it should be a fun Red Ribbon Week. And like I said, I'm excited for this chance to have some fun with you guys. All right. Lesson for today is still about out of the 6 most important decisions you'll make in your life. We're still talking about your school choices. Last week, we talked about Sean Covey interviews lots of young people, and he said these are the 4 most common school challenges people mention, including being stressed out. He talked about the key to that is sharpening the saw, taking time to feed your soul, your brain, your mind, your emotions, exemplified by your heart. Take time for you, all right? And don't burn yourself out, and find things that will help you feel better. What if you're worried about time? There's way too much things for me to do. I just don't have time. Think about your time quadrants. And I don't know why I point because you can't see. Are you focused on your big rocks, or are there time wasters that are just whittling away your day? All right. If you're struggling with motivation, I just don't care, which happens. Think about that marshmallow test and think that, I'm just not going to try. Okay, school's hard for me, which is, I know it's hard for some people. But if you can get through some of those things, instead of that one temporary, like, hey, I just don't have to do my homework, there's one marshmallow. Do that work and get the marshmallows down the road that could be waiting for you. Talk about some of that today. And finally, my head's in the way for this one. Sorry. I'm just no good at school. And I show that picture of glasses that we always use to symbolize the idea of paradigms, your perspective on things. Well, if you have the paradigm, I'm just no good at school, that's faulty. Take off those glasses. Okay. I don't know how you got that. People do struggle. It might be hard for you. You've got a few F's or failed a test or 2 in your life. But there's some aspect of school that you're good at. And if you need help recognizing that, let me know, because everybody in this building is capable of graduating and getting passing grades. Maybe you need some assistance with that, but that's okay. Everyone deserves that. Okay, so just don't give up on yourself. You can be good at school. All right. Lesson 4 in our decision unit for school is called, Off to College. Sorry, I'm not going to stop this video because I got to get it done. All right. Know that when we talk about college today, we are talking about any education after high school. A university like ISU is great and it works for some people, but not for everybody. So when we say, hey, college is important, we're talking about trade schools, learn to be a welder, a plumber, an electrician. Yes, a university, but possibly a 2-year community college like the ones we have in Twin and Idaho Falls. Technical degrees, be a cosmetologist or a radiologist, things like that, or even military training. that qualifies as college. It's not just university, okay? Anything that comes after high school. Sean mentions 3 benefits that he sees from college, all right? Including that it can enrich your life. And I realize that sometimes there's some words you may not know. So if you don't know what enrich means as a verb, it means to make rich, especially by the addition or increase of some desirable quality, attribute, or ingredient. And in this context, rich does not mean money-wise, even though we will talk about money today. It means it makes your life better or more fuller in some way. Okay. For me, those pictures are philosophy, psychology, and it's supposed to be literary analysis. My 4 years at ISU, yes, I was there for some job training, and it helped me become an educator. But I took a philosophy class, really interesting. It's stuff that I still dabble in today. I just love old dudes like Socrates and Aristotle and Plato and other philosophers that really ponder the deep meanings of life. I don't always understand their writings, but I think they're fascinating, and I would have never known that if it wasn't for college. Same with psychology. Hey, I was actually a psych major for a semester because the way people's brains work and how that motivates them to do the things they do, still find that fascinating. Still love reading books about that. And then, yes, I've always loved stories in the written word, but college brought me more knowledge and appreciation for how to really analyze and do some of that myself. So my life got better, yes, outside of the job stuff, just by the different things that college could do for me. Opportunities, that's the benefit number 2. You probably know this word, but think a chance. This is a chance to do something, to advance in life or make progress or have a chance for some positive experience. College, remember, college means anything after high school, open doors for you. It really does. Okay. Things that my family never had a chance to do this, but if you go to college, maybe, yes, careers as opposed to jobs. Remember, we talked about jobs as just being kind of a money-making mechanism that maybe you don't like, but a career has some purpose to it. But it might open the door to more travel or opportunities of any kind of life, getting to know people that you may not know because you didn't go to college. So that's a big benefit. And then the last one deals with improving your financial situation. Do you know the word financial? It's an adjective meaning having to do with dollar bills. Yeah. So this is the money portion. Okay. And my head is blocking that picture, which is unfortunate because it shows median income or average income. Hey, I know some math terms based on post-secondary training. So the very bottom rung there didn't finish high school. So the average person that doesn't finish high school is going to make around $25,000 a year. For somebody who may not have 25 bucks in their pocket right now, 25,000 a year sounds great. It's not. Okay, cost of living is way over that almost any part of America. Oh, I messed my hair up. Sorry. So if you have some other options and you graduate high school, good news. You're going closer to $40,000 a year as an average. That's really good, but not great. I mean, you can live on that, but if you have a family, it might get kind of challenging. Okay, I'm covering up there, but a 4-year degree gets you closer to 60, which is nice. Okay, or I think that's not even a 4-year degree. That's a 2-year a community college or trade school. So that will get you close to 60, which is really good. You can live on that. Okay. So that's like the cosmetology, nursing, some diesel mechanic stuff. That can be a very good wage and a good way of life. Okay. Often a 4-year degree at university can get you closer to 75 or 80,000 as an average. Your teachers are saying, what right now? But that's definitely good living. And if you go beyond your 4-year degree and get a professional degree, like a master's or a doctorate of some kind, your earning potential, your average goes up to 120,000. All right. And no, it's not all about money, but money's nice. And so if you want some more earning potential, post-secondary training, college of some type is going to help you. All right. I want to talk to people out there and talk a little bit about privilege and opportunities that people have that maybe you don't. So this video, and it's just a picture of the video, I'm not going to show it to you, talks about privilege and kind of symbolizes it really clearly for anybody. And I've shown it to you at least once, maybe twice. It's the video of a coach, of a leader, some kind of lining people up, getting ready to run a race, and then saying, hey, if you had this in your life, both your parents, okay, you've never had to worry about your power getting shut off or where your food comes from. Take 2 steps forward. And you can see that certain people had more advantages than others. Okay, that's the same with college. If both your parents have 4-year degrees and they know who to talk to and they know how to help you with admissions, you have a bit of an advantage. Doesn't mean it's bad or you're a bad person, but some of you guys don't have any advantages, maybe some disadvantages. Okay, maybe there's language barriers, or there's never anybody in your family who's been to college, or you don't even know how to go about doing it. Yes, it may be more challenging, but remember that video because those people catch up eventually. Okay. And the race does even out. So it doesn't mean you're ruled out. And it made me think of Alexander Hamilton, who got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a self starter. And I won't rap anymore. Maybe you know that musical, maybe you don't. But somebody in life, in real life, who had some disadvantages and overcame them. Okay. So working hard, learning connections and stuff yes, you can be the first person in your family to go to college. If you're flunking every class right now, you can still go to college. So just don't think it's not for me, because remember, college is this big umbrella we talked about, 2-year degrees, technical, whatever you want to say. All right. Next part. Sean wants you to start thinking about getting ready. Even though you're only 8th graders, high school is going to come at you fast. Life come at you fast, for sure. So you're going to have lots of choices when it comes to college, for sure. And that just shows some mascots on different states and stuff. But each state in the union has all sorts of options. So don't just pick something because my friend's going there. Well, you could go a semester. My boyfriend's going there. What if you break up? Okay. Do you even like the college? So think about admissions. How hard is it to get into? What are the rankings? Is it a top 10, whatever program you want to get into? Remember, if you want to be an engineer, you want to be a doctor, make sure the college that you go to has the actual program, because programs vary between colleges. Where's it at? And what I mean by that is, yeah, sure. What country? Because you could go overseas. I've told you before, I wish I would have went to Oxford, but like the state, the town, what's the community like that you're going to be living for a long time? My choice to go to Pocatello has been pretty impactful. Otherwise, I would have never came to Eastern Idaho. All right. Think about distance from home. You want to be close by? You want to go to ISU? ISU for me was 5 hours from home, and it was a nice, like, I could see my family, but I had a nice buffer for my parents too. But for you, maybe you want to be across the country. I don't know. So just think about that. What's the campus look like? Some places are in a city. Some are not super beautiful. There are places that a college campus can be gorgeous, right? Rolling hills and quads and this beautiful architecture. So that's important to you. Check it out. Check out how you're going to live. What are the dorms like? Are you going to live in an apartment? And then really, what is your college known for? Okay. You may have a degree on your wall someday. And yes, any degree is going to help you. But what does it say about you if you go to Harvard? Okay. Or all these things. So what do you want to be known for? So things to consider as you get closer. What else could you consider? The admission people, who at some point are going to see some paperwork on you. Sorry, I'm moving around a lot because I'm tired. And say, this person, yeah, we'll let them in. What are they looking for? How badly do you want to be there? Because that's going to come across in the application and things you do. They are looking at SATs or ACTs. So the good news is they kind of look at this whole picture. It's not just based on SATs, but it is a part of it. Okay. They do look at grades, extracurricular activities. Were you involved in lots of activities at school? Have you ever volunteered for an organization? It can be pretty important, actually, when it comes to the more competitive universities. Letters of recommendation. Who are they from? Are they just from your buddy that's your age? No, they got to be from adult. And I know I get asked for these sometimes, and I have a template. But if it's somebody that I'm really impressed with that I want to help, I put in more effort. So making connections with people, knowing how to write those letters. And then you may have to write an essay or call somebody. They're not going to accept you in your school if you can't put a couple paragraphs together or make a phone call. Okay. So if you want to go somewhere that's going to be challenging, those are the things that they're looking at for sure. And in high school, we'll talk about that in a second. You're going to have people that will help with admissions for sure. Last question. How will you pay for college? Because student loans can become very burdensome. Okay. Like a weight weighing you down. And I won't talk about the flaws with how much college costs in this country and some of the issues with student loan stuff, because trust me, I got thoughts for sure. But just know that there is money out there. Okay, the second quote talks about somebody from Sean's book who learned that there are lots of groups in your community and state and country that really are just trying to give money away for college students. And that could be you, honestly. Some people, these grants, which are things you generally don't have to pay back, some are need-based, meaning if your parents make under a certain amount of money, you can be eligible for those scholarships, and others are more merit-based based on they wrote a great essay or they've done these certain things. But even if you think, oh, I don't have any talents or, whatever, my parents make plenty of money, but they're not rich. There is opportunity for everybody. Trust me. I went to college at ISU on a partial football scholarship. They weren't paying for much at first, just books. And I actually was hoping it'd pull into a full scholarship, and that just didn't happen for me. And then I stopped playing football and tried to work to put myself through school. And it's a lot of money. Okay. And really late in the process, I finally went down to some counselors and said, "Is there any scholarships?" And they said, "Hey, you might be eligible for this one." And it's like, oh, it was I think it was an NRA sponsored scholarship, and it was about why firearms were important in my life. And to be honest, they weren't. They just weren't important in my life then or now. But I've been hunting, and so I wrote in there, "Hey, I went hunting with my friends, and these were fun trips." And I thought, let's see what happens, and I can ride a little bit. And I believe they gave me $2,000 for that school year, and I thought, what was I doing this whole time, right? So just go to your guidance counselor at high school, whatever it is, and say, I need to pay for college, because there's things out there. If you put in the work, and honestly, it's not that much work. That particular essay didn't take me that long. Okay, so when you get there, people at the high school now are really good at this. Say, what am I eligible for? And don't let the lack of money or money concerns keep you from your college. Okay, again, whatever kind of college you want to pursue, because it can do all those things, enrich your life, give you opportunities, and give you some earning power. All right. Closing today, quoting one of my favorite dudes, Henry David Thoreau, who wrote some pretty interesting stuff and lived an interesting life. He wasn't talking about college in this quote, but I like what he says. So when I talk to students of the month or any kid, they talk about wanting to be a doctor, a lawyer, a engineer, a vet, an astronaut, college football player, all these things, right? Not working at McDonald's. So you have a life that you can see and dream about that thinks, man, it'd be cool to be that. And he said, go there, go confidently in that direction. And often to get to any place like that, it's going to require something after high school. So if you can start preparing for that now and heading towards some things that could be really fun for you and worthwhile for your life, it's never too early to prepare for what's going to come after high school. So thanks for listening, guys. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast, and I know how to turn this off, because seventh grade I didn't, and they laughed at me. So have a great Thursday, and I'm almost ready to turn it off. Maybe. Oh, hold on. I gotta wait. You guys are probably laughing at me. I think that stop button is what I want. See you.